So the last thing that we just love to touch upon is about disease control. So what I tell most people is that I'm a teacher of like knowing what bugs that are attacking your plants, rather than trying to find like an all-purpose, like, you know, think about like your home. Most people have like an all-purpose like bug spray that gets rid of like all the insects in your house. Gardening is a little bit different because we have insects that are like beneficial, you know, that actually serve a purpose in minimizing other bugs from eating up your plants. And then also the way that we do our garden designs while we incorporate herbs and flowers is that it allows for us to create a space where beneficials have a habitat and are easily able to like benefit. So that's why we have like these herbs here. Going back to about pest control. So one of our biggest things that we get a lot of calls about, a lot of people asking about is I have this bug problem. How do I handle it? And how do I take care of it? And I explain to people, when you're doing things in your backyard garden or you're doing things organic and natural, the best way to answer that question is for you to have what we call an integrated pest management system, an IPM. And so what that means is that rather than like saying, oh, I have this bug problem, I need to eliminate it right away, we want you to start thinking of what's the typical bugs that tend to eat up the particular crops that I like to grow. So we're in the garden here today, and most times in our backyard growers in the South, we're either growing collard greens, corn, tomatoes, on and so forth. And so our number one thing that we use the most is a product called Neem Oil. And again, what you want to look for in that sticker for organic gardening. The other thing we use, especially if you're dealing with a lot of what we call cabbage loopers, or you have a lot of tomato hornworms, things like that, is a product called BT or just Thuricide. And again, you're looking for this OMRI listed. OMRI again means that it's organically certified. It's basically another product again that you can use it. It's natural in its creation. And like I say always, please read the back of the labels because it gives you instruction on how much of it to use, how often to use it, how to apply for different things. But if you're dealing with like worm problems, eating up, creating holes and leaves, BT Thuricide is what you need. And again, going back to our spray bottle, it gives you instruction of how much to put in per bottle. You want to spray the leaves, but then also with pest control, you want to spray the under parts of the leaves. So not just the top, but a lot of our bugs, a lot of the larvas, a lot of the eggs, they like to reside or live underneath the canopy of the plant. I always say like the pests like to hang out in the shade, you know what I mean? And so I always spray the under parts of the leaves as well as the top part, just with like bug control and things like that. So with that, as I was explaining about under the leaves, on and so forth, is that knowing the habits or knowing which stages to really spray the right chemical, natural chemical also helps. Because some bugs, it's best if you want to prevent them is to get them when they're in the egg phase or the larva phase. And then some of them, you want to deal with them when they're like full grown adults. But as a whole, if you get them in the egg phase or larva phase, you have a better chance of minimizing the bug pressure that you have like in your garden space. And the last thing people always deal with, we have like a lot of like ant problems and stuff like that. So what we like to recommend that people use, again, OMRI listed, organic and management, is just diatomaceous earth. What this is like crushed up fine sheet shells, and what this does, especially if you have like squash bugs or you have like an ant problem, is going ahead and just sprinkling this around your garden space. And what this does is it cuts up the underbelly of a lot of soft, we like to call them like soft shell like insect. So this is just another product to have in your wheelhouse with gardening maintenance, upkeep, keeping disease, keeping bugs out of your space. So again, this is me. I'm checking in, I'm checking out. You know, growing food is what I'm about. Peace.